Good morning, Year 4. So, this is a slightly different video, almost a bonus, I would call it, all about our book, Beyond the Deepwoods. So, as you all know, we're studying this book for this half term so we can write our encyclopedias, our non-chronological reports. But this copy of the book has been mine since I was your age, since I was 8 years old. It's one of my favourites, and I don't just have this one in the series. I've got loads of the series here as well. So this isn't all of them, but I've read these books a lot, and I'm always going on about in the classroom how books can really help you through some difficult times. And these books have certainly done that for me, and they're doing it now for all of us, because we are in a difficult time. But I think that by reading a good book and escaping into a new world, that's really helping us to deal with some of the things that we're having to do every single day. So, I thought that needed to be acknowledged. And I went onto the website for The Edge Chronicles Beyond the Deepwoods, and I found the author's name, which is Paul Stewart, and he wrote it, and Chris Riddell illustrated it as well. And I found an email address for Mr. Paul Stewart, and so I sent him a letter. I said thank you very much for helping us through this tough time by having a really good book to read and to study. It's really appreciated. I think you've grabbed my students' attention. I think you grabbed my attention all these years ago as well. And thank you very much, because it's an excellent book. And to my surprise, he sent me a letter back. And not only did he send me a letter back, he sent you a letter back. Now, I've got that on my computer in my desk over here, so we're going to go and have a little read of the letter that Paul Stewart has sent you. Okay, so here's the letter that Paul Stewart sent us. Now, you can't see it very well on my screen, so what I'm going to make sure I do is upload a copy of this letter so that you can read it for yourself as well, if you would like to. Here it is. Dear girls and boys in Mr. McGregor's class, Mr. McGregor wrote to me to say that you were reading Beyond the Deepwoods and liking it. I can't tell you how happy that made me feel. It's a cold, wet day today, 35 days into the lockdown. And hearing that you're enjoying the story that Chris and I collaborated on all those years ago has made my day. Chris and I first met because we both sent our sons to the same nursery. When we discovered that I was a writer and he was an illustrator, we decided to try working together. The first book we did was a picture book about a rabbit and a hedgehog called A Little Bit of Winter. We did 4 rabbit and hedgehog books in all together. Then Chris drew the map of the Edge at the beginning of Beyond the Deepwoods and he gave it to me. Here's the world, he said. What happens in it? And well, we had a really great time exploring the place with its weird bloodthirsty creatures and sky pirates, and gradually we explored more and more of the places in the original map. We wrote 3 books about Twig, and then another 3 books about his father, Quint, and another 3 books about Twig's grandson, Rook. We just couldn't stop. Next came another book called The Immortals, and then finally 3 more books about a character called Cade. It's set 500 years after Beyond the Deepwoods, and Cade is distantly related to Twig. The final book in the series came out only last year. It's called The Descenders, and in it, we finally discover what lies underneath the Edge. These are strange times at the moment. I was supposed to be going to China in March to go into schools in Beijing and Shanghai and talk about my books. That got cancelled. Instead, I'm locked up inside my house. My son and my daughter are grown up now and they don't live at home anymore, so it's just me and my wife. I thought that the Edge Chronicles were over, but maybe, as I've got so much time at the moment, I might try writing 1 or 2 more stories. Maybe one about a panda bear. Good luck to all of you. I'm sure you're all being very good at staying in. I hope it'll be over soon and you can get out the house, go back to school, and play with all of your friends again. In the meantime, I wish you all the best, and keep reading. All best wishes, Paul Stewart. So there we go. We've had a really nice letter from the author of our book, Mr. Paul Stewart. Now, I am going to reply to his letter as well, but I thought what might be nice is if I wait a little bit for you to include some snippets as well. If you are enjoying Beyond the Deepwoods and you would like to say hello to Mr. Paul Stewart, or you would like to leave a comment about your favourite part or anything like this, I would like you to send that comment to me so I can put it in my email back to Mr. Stewart. I think he'll really appreciate it. And if a letter from me has made his day, imagine what a comment and a letter from all of you is going to do as well. I think it will really help keep him happy. Thanks very much.